No, sir, we can't hear you.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, just hold on. I'll just open the screen. How many have joined so far? I guess 15 have joined. So let another 5, 6 join. Okay, I guess the next class is of MB Patil sir. So since he's on leave, he will not be, the class will not be engaged. So this would be the last class for you today. Okay, those who have opted for HR marketing.
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but your voice is very slow.
Very low, is it? Just a minute, okay? Just give me. Uh, Now, is it okay? Zora?
Yes, sir, but it is a bit low.
Okay, okay. I don't know what is the problem here. Now it's fine. Just check.
Yeah, it's okay a bit, but it's not as how usually it comes.
Okay, I'll just try to change the mic. Just hold on.
No, sir, we can't hear you.
So we can't hear you.
I don't know why it happens with me only. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Loud
Yes,
and
sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. Zora, is it fine now?
Yes,
Or still
sir.
it's low? Okay, great. So I'll just get started. Okay, I hope there are, yes. No. fair number of students who have joined. Okay, still only but 21 have joined. Fine, no issues. We'll get started because again the meeting will get over soon. Okay, till the time the screen starts, okay, please take down this one question that you have to write as assignment, a very simple question. Okay, since in the previous class we completed benchmarking, okay, please write down this question. Uh, Distinguish between benchmarking and strategic HR matrix. Distinguish between benchmarking and strategic HR matrix. It's still not audible?
Now
Audible,
it's
sir.
audible.
Tejaswini has put a message saying it's not audible. Tejaswini, can you hear me? Okay, just confirm if you can see the screen, guys.
Yes, sir, we can see that.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so in the previous class, okay, we have completed benchmarking. We studied what is benchmarking. We started with types of benchmarking in the previous class. Then we went on to do the implementation process. Can somebody tell me who provided this implementation process? The five step process, benchmarking process. Who gave this process? Any idea? Anyone? Guys, are you there? Vienna, can you tell me who gave this process, five-step process? Ca- Can
Sir,
you?
it was some name I can't recall right now.
You've not
I think
written
it
it down?
started with S or something.
Okay, Ivan, Mrunali, Zora.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah,
it was started by Xerox. That thing only I
that
remember.
was benchmarking. That was benchmarking,
Yeah.
which was done by Xerox, which was initiated by Xerox Corporation. Yes, but I'm talking about the five-step process.
No, sir, I don't remember.
Uh, okay, Rohan.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me,
So implementation of benchmarking process, sir.
yeah, who gave this
That
process?
planning, analyzing.
Who gave this process?
Camps, sir. Camps. I remember camps.
Yes, yes, it was CAMS who gave this process. Okay, then after the process, we studied the significance of
Yes,
benchmarking.
sir.
Then we went on
Yes,
to
sir.
do the pitfalls in benchmarking, like what are the problems in benchmarking, and then today we're going to cover HR scorecard. In general, what is a scorecard? What do you understand by scorecard? Pragati, what is a scorecard?
So scorecard is basically used to judge someone like how
Okay,
much is capable.
basically, okay, I'll give you the answer later. Yes, to judge someone. Dhanashri, Nevrekar. Dhanashri, what is a scorecard according to you? Dhanashri, you are there? Gautami? Gautami, are you there? Rohit, what is scorecard according to you? Omkar, Rangoli?
So it's
Yeah, Omkar, go ahead.
sir, scorecard means uh, facts, facts.
Okay, it may be facts.
Yes.
Zora, what is scorecard according to you?
Uh, Sir, it can be a thing from which a person's uh, ability to work or how much he worked is noted down.
Okay. Can I sum it up saying that it is a representation of performance?
Yes, sir.
Right? It is a kind of a representation of the performance of an individual or a department or any center, okay, any work center, right? So HR scorecard basically talks about the performance of HR practices and deliverables, okay, or HR functions, basically, whether it is recruitment or selection or training or appraisals or whatever HR functions are there. Okay, so a scorecard, HR scorecard basically measures the performance of these functions, HR functions. Okay, so important that the firm can use the design and deploy more effective HR strategies. Okay, HR scorecard is very important because the firm can design it on their own, deploy it, that is implement it for effective HR strategies. Okay, so whenever a scorecard is implemented, designed and implemented, what happens? Each and every decision is measured. Okay, the effectiveness of each and every decision and every function is measured. So the in this, what happens is when it is measured, ultimately measurement is followed by comparison, and that leads to effectiveness, right? That is how these HR scorecards help you. Okay, they help you in measuring the effectiveness and in turn in comparison, and then improving the performance. That is how HR scorecard helps you. What is it? It is a visual representation of the key measures of human resource departments, achievements, productivity, and other factors important to the organization. So what basically is an HR scorecard? It is a visual representation of what? Key measures of HR department, that is in terms of achievements, in terms of productivity, or in terms of factors that are important to the organization. So it visually represents all these things. Okay, then it aligns HR support with organizational strategy and demonstrate HR value contribution in achieving organizational strategic content. So whenever you prepare a scorecard, it tries to relate two things. One is your HR performance, that is your various functions of HR, and the strategic goals of the organization. Okay. So what happens when there is an HR scorecard is how much is your contribution, how much is the contribution of your HR functions towards achieving the goals of the organization, towards achieving the strategic goals of the organization, can be easily understood using an HR scorecard, because it tries to create that relationship between two things. If training increases, what would be the effect of the increased training on the performance of the organization? Okay, strategic performance of the organization. This can be given by a HR scorecard in terms of training. Okay, in terms of recruitment. Okay, more you spend on recruitment, let's say, what happens to because this year you have spent more on recruitment and you have tried to hire the best of the people, what has it led to in terms of performance of the organization? So this link or this alignment is done using an HR scorecard. Okay, so that is what a scorecard is. It talks about the performance of the HR functions in terms of the strategic performance of the organization, in line with the strategic performance of the organization. Okay, then what is the process? Okay, now we can read the 1 2 3 4 5 as steps. Okay, let's try to understand what is the process of building an HR scorecard. So suppose you want to build a scorecard, what you need for that. Okay, first one is find key performance indicators or performance drivers. Okay, what drives your organization, or what are the key drivers of your organization, what leads to improvement in the performance of a particular organization. Those are called as drivers. Okay, what drives you to let's say, okay, you run very fast, so what drives you to run fast? Maybe it's because of your practice or because of the natural build that you have. There might be a number of reasons why you can run fast. Okay, so what are those drivers have to be found out. What are the key drivers, performance drivers? Okay, so maybe we can say, okay, let's take an example, right? um, Marketing is a key driver. Okay, so we need good marketing people in the organization. Okay, I'm trying to relate marketing with HR now. Okay, so what is a key performance driver here? Market, or marketing or promotion is a key performance driver. Now, to have a good marketing impact, or to have an good advertising, you need good skilled people in your organization. Okay, so that is how it is related to HR, right? So HR scorecard basically find out what is important in an organization, what drives performance, what leads to performance. Okay, second is role of HR in these drivers. Okay, now what how does HR help in identifying and achieving these drivers, or basically supporting these drivers? Okay, how does an HR help? You have to find out the role of HRs. Okay, if I say marketing is a key driver, the advertisement is a key driver. Now in advertisement, what will HR have, what role will HR have in advertisement? Yes, the role of HR is to find out the best talent who can create good advertisements. Okay, the best creative talents who can create good advertisements, that is the role of HR. Okay, so that is what HR does to get those drivers in line. Okay, then elements that must come together. Okay, now here it's not individual. You cannot attain the goals of the organization by just changing one or two functions. Okay, it is aligning, everything has to come together, and when everything comes together, then only you will achieve that performance. Okay, so what are the various elements in HR which has to come together so that you can attain those performance levels? Okay, you can help the drivers in attaining those performance levels. So whether it is training and recruitment should come together, and they should work towards the organization, or it is the appraisal and the staffing and appraisal should come together, and then uh, the performance would be better. So you have to understand what are the various elements that have to come together. Okay, it is, let's say for example, it is recruitment and training and the performance or the strategic performance. These things have to come together. Or it is let's say staffing and appraisals and performance, these three things to come together. Okay, so you have to decide what are the things that you need to come together, and on the basis of that, fourth step, you need to select a matrix. Okay, matrix for assessing the progress. So now you know which elements are required, so those elements would be plotted on your matrix. Those elements would be there on your matrix. Okay, for example, let's take a simple example of your BCG matrix. Okay, everybody has done BCG, right? I hope you know what is BCG. Yes, no? Sushmita Mane, do you know what is BCG?
Yes,
Megha,
sir.
Rangoli? Yes, Sushmita, you were saying something. Hello, guys, am I audible? Can you hear me? Nobody is responding today.
Yes, sir.
Are you all
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Is Sushmita there? Nunali, can you tell me what is BCG?
No, sir, I don't know.
Rashmi?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you tell me what is BCG?
The cash cows, star,
What is
question mark.
BCG? What is BCG?
The full form of it?
Yes.
I don't know, sir.
Rohin?
Sir, Boston Consultancy Service.
Consultancy group.
Consultancy group, sir. It's like product portfolio
You can
matrix, sir.
answer Boston Consultancy Matrix or Boston Consultancy Group.
Sir, Boston
Yeah,
Consultancy Group.
yeah, Boston Consultancy Group has developed this matrix.
यूज
As you have said,
जाता
as you have said, it is related to your stars, okay, cash cows, then dogs, okay, and there's one more, right? Cash,
Question mark.
question mark, okay, the stars, cash cows, question mark, and dogs, right? Okay, so basically, can you tell me what are the elements which are there in this particular matrix? What is the x-axis and what is the y-axis? Okay, I'll do it for you because I don't know how many of you remember this BCG matrix. Okay, one is the competitive strength, another is market share. Okay, it talks about competitive strength or industry or the growth in the industry and your market share. Okay, so these are the two elements which were found out in that particular matrix. Okay, and the matrix was developed accordingly. So here also, you once you find out the elements what are important, what should come together, once you find out those elements, then you have to go ahead with the matrix. Okay, you have to find out the matrix which includes or which can be implemented using those elements which you have identified in step number 3. Okay, once you have developed the matrix, okay, then you design icons and various visual cues, like let's say red is bad, yellow is average, green is good. Okay, so the or star is good, then let's say some other form of design can be bad. Okay, so this is how you can give a visual look to your scorecard. Okay, that is how you build a scorecard. Okay, so whenever you give a data, it directly gives you red color light. Okay, now red represents it is bad. Okay, then sometimes it gives you an yellow or oranges kind of color when you input a data. It means that okay, the performance is average. Whereas if it gives a green color, then you say okay, it's a very good performance, right? So that is how you can visually make it more attractive by giving design icons and other visual cues. Okay, or sometimes okay, you can have a smiley, okay, a smiling face for good, sad face for bad. So all these things can be done at the last step. Okay, that is designing your icons and other visual cues. Okay, so this is how you develop your HR scorecard. The first thing is you need to understand what are the drivers, what drives the performance, what leads to performance. Then what is the role of HRs in those drivers? You have to find out that. Then you have to find out the elements, various elements that have to come together, okay, to judge those drivers. There are elements which help you in judging those drivers. So you have to find out those elements. Then put those elements into matrix. So you have to find out a good matrix where all these elements can be fitted into. And then comes your visual icons and cues to give it a visual look and to represent it in a better way. So this is the process of HR matrix or HR scorecard, how to build a HR scorecard. Okay. Next one comes are some of the tips that you can follow to avoid certain problems. There are certain pitfalls in the HR scorecard, like some things are relevant, some things are irrelevant, and you tend to concentrate more on irrelevant things, okay, as per the scorecard. Okay, so to avoid all these pitfalls or avoid all these problems, these are some of the tips that you can follow while developing or while building a scorecard. First one is focus on HR elements that make a definable and significant contribution. You have to focus on only those elements which are really significant, which are contributing to the performance of the organization. Okay, so they should be directly related to the performance of the organization. So you have to identify that, or you have to focus more on that. when you're building a scorecard. Second is divide the matrix. Okay, you cannot have one single matrix. Okay, you have n number of matrix. Okay, you divide the matrix into core matrix and strategic matrix. Now, what is core matrix is basically when you talk about core matrix, they do not have any direct connection with the performance. Okay, they are called as core metrics, which are required but they are not directly related to performance, whereas strategic metrics are the metrics which talks about direct relationship with the performance of the organization. Okay, so you have to basically understand and divide the matrix that you have developed into two parts. One is your core matrix and another is your strategic matrix. Okay, and lastly, describe the actual impact of related deliverables on performance. So whatever was the actual performance on the deliverables. Okay, for example, let's say increase in training led to an increase in productivity. Sorry, increase in training by, let's say, 20% led to an increase in the productivity by 30%, and in turn it led to the avoiding wastage of time by 10%. Okay, so this is how you need to describe the actual impact. Okay, it should be quantifiable. The whatever results you get from the matrix, those results should be quantifiable. Okay, so describe the actual impact of related deliverables on firm's performance. So how are those deliverables really impacting or actually impacting the performance of the firm has to be described properly. Okay, so that is another tip that you can follow to avoid the various pitfalls, as I said, getting the irrelevant data and irrelevant decision making or irrelevant inferences. So to avoid all these irrelevant inferences or data or results, you need to follow these steps or these steps. That is, focus on the important elements which are significant. Divide the matrix into core matrix and strategic matrix. Core matrix are the matrix which are not directly related to performance. Strategic metrics are the metrics which are directly related to performance. And last one is you have to describe the actual impact of those deliverables on the firm's performance. Okay, so are you all clear with these points so far, whatever we have covered? What is a HR scorecard? Are you clear with that? If yes, please
Yes,
give a
sir.
thumbs up so that I can go ahead. Okay, then what is the process? What all things you have to do? Are you clear with that? Okay, then going ahead with tips for avoiding pitfalls when you're developing a scorecard. Okay, next is, what is the benefit of HR scorecard? Okay, what are the advantages? Basically, it distinguishes between HR doable and doables and HR deliverables. Can somebody tell me what is the difference between doable and deliverables? Or what is doable? What is the meaning of doable? Anyone?
Feasible, sir.
Feasible. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Rashmi,
Doing something and delivering something that you have done.
who is this?
So Preeti,
Preeti. Doing something.
and delivering something that you have done.
Doing something and delivering something that you have done. Can you explain, Preeti?
Sir, it is possible to do the things in doable.
Okay. Now,
So it is
So feasible.
it is in someone's power.
tell me one thing. What is important? Doable is important or deliverable is important?
So both.
Okay. Doable is which can be done. Which can be done is what is doable. Okay. And deliverable is which has to be done. Understanding the difference?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you say, okay, I will study for 4 hours every day. Apart from my classes, I will study for 4 hours every day. What is this? Whether this is doable or deliverable?
So
Doable,
doable.
sir.
Doable. You may not, but I am studying for 3 hours every day. That means you are actually
So
delivering.
deliverable.
Correct?
Deliverable.
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding this?
Yes, sir.
So doable
Yes,
is
sir.
doable does not uh, impact the strategic implementation, whereas deliverable has an impact on the strategic implementation or strategy implementation. So what happens when there is a scorecard is there is a proper distinction between doable and deliverable. Okay, people plan, they want to do it, they know this is important, they can do it, but are they doing it? Okay, so HR scorecard will clearly distinguish between uh, are they doing it or they are just planning. Clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next one is control cost and create value. Definitely, whenever you have a HR scorecard, you know where your resources are getting wasted or where they are being utilized in a proper manner, where you're getting more returns, where you're getting less returns. So you know how your resources are utilized in a in your business. Okay, so when you know that, and if you find that there is a lot of wastage of resources in a particular process or in a particular function which is not really important or which is not impacting the organizational performance, what you can do is you can reduce those costs. You can either shift those employees to some other function, or you can just eliminate those to control the cost. Okay, so that is how you can control your cost. And when you try to control your cost, definitely you're creating value for the organization, because when there is cost control, definitely your profits are going to increase, and when the profit increases, it is going to create value for the organization. Okay, and that is possible through a scorecard, because scorecard helps you in identifying the black sheeps in your organization. Okay, you're identifying the unproductive activities in your organization. Okay, so through this you can control cost and create value for the organization. Next one is measure leading indicators. Now leading indicators is, let's say, normally, okay, I'll tell you in simple words, in marketing terms. Okay, or demand forecasting, we use this word leading indicator. Now what is this leading indicator is, okay, uh, basically, let's say, okay, I'll put this question to you. Okay, uh, let's say there is a news today that uh, corona can be avoided. Okay, corona can be avoided uh, by drinking ginger tea. Suppose this news is spread across. Okay, what will happen? What would be the result of this? Corona can be avoided by drinking ginger tea.
Demand for ginger will increase, sir.
Demand for ginger will increase, correct? So this news has become a leading indicator for you. Yes,
Yes, sir.
correct. So
Yes, sir.
this is, yeah, this is a leading indicator. Fine. So that is how you find out the leading indicator. So it helps, HR scorecards helps you in measuring the leading indicators. Okay. Then next one is assess HR's contribution to strategy implementation, and to the bottom line. Bottom line talks about profit. Bottom line is nothing but profit. Okay. So what is the contribution of HR in the implementation of the strategy and to the profits of the organization, can be easily depicted using a HR scorecard. So directly you can relate your HR performance or HR performance with your performance of the organization. So both can be related, and you can find out, okay, whether it has really impacted positively or negatively on the performance of the company. So that can be possible using a scorecard. Okay. Next one is effectively manage their strategic responsibilities. Okay. Now, basically what happens is, whenever a scorecard is developed, okay, everybody is given responsibilities, and those responsibilities lead to performance of the organization, to need to improving the performance of the organization, right? So everybody is aware of their own responsibilities. So what happens in this case is, when everybody is aware that they are responsible for a particular thing, because there is a scorecard and they are going to be mapped on that scorecard. Okay, effectiveness comes. Okay, so you can effectively manage the strategic responsibilities by using a scorecard, because everything is mapped. Okay, individual scorecards are drawn, departmental scorecards are drawn, and your work or your actions would be marked on the scorecard, and ultimately it will be found out whether you are effective or you're not effective, you're productive or you're not productive. So that is how you can effectively manage their strategic responsibilities. And encourage flexibility and change. Yes, definitely. HR scorecards are not rigid. Okay, it can be changed, they are flexible enough, and they give you flexibility also. Like, this is what you need to do. Now, how to do it, it depends on you. Okay, I want to reach Goa. Now, how will I reach Goa? Let's say I want to reach Goa in 1.5 hour. That is the target given to me. Now, how will I reach Goa in 1.5 hour? That is left up to you. The target is set. 1.5 hour, you need to reach Goa from here, from Belgaum. Okay, so it encourages flexibility and change because you know what you need to perform, or you know what your goals are, and you're free to do whatever you want to achieve those goals. Okay, because scorecard says whether you have achieved it or no. What was your performance, and whether it is leading to the performance of the organization or no. That is what is HR scorecard concerned with. How are you doing it is left up to you. So HR scorecard basically encourages flexibility and change. Okay, definitely it will bring in change in the organization because uh, due to scorecards you are measured, all your activities are measured, and you tend to um, do only productive activities, because unproductive activities are not going to lead to any uh, benefit to neither you nor the organization. Okay, so definitely there would be a change in the behavior, and effectiveness increases, as already said. Okay, so this is how HR scorecard helps you in achieving the organizational goals. Okay, aligning HR practices and policies with achievement of the organizational goals. Okay, uh, let's take a simple example, guys. Okay, at the end of the exam, at the end of the semester, if we say okay, there are exams, but we are not going to tell you how much you have scored. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, it is of no use, because it is not going to be measured, so why will you perform? Okay, you will not write anything in the exam, right? But when I say, okay, you will be given a scorecard, and this is how you're going to be measured in terms of communication, in terms of your confidence levels, in terms of your writing skills, in terms of your grammar, in terms of your vocabulary, etc., etc. If you're going to be judged on these particular parameters, elements, okay, then you will take it seriously. Like, for example, when we were taking your mock interviews, okay, we were judging you on some set parameters. Okay, and since maybe some of you were not aware of those parameters, some of them did not perform. Okay, but some are natural, and they know, okay, this is what is expected. You know which are the important elements in an interview, and you delivered there, right? So that is how scorecard helps you in basically improving your performance and aligning the individual HR performance with the overall strategic performance of the organization. Okay, then practical applications. Okay, this is the last slide. I guess we are left with less than a minute, but I'll just complete this. Okay, where it is applied. HR effectiveness, definitely. Hiring effectiveness, sorry. It will help in hiring the right people. Okay, it will make your hiring process more effective, more cost effective, maybe more productive, etc. Okay, the turnover of the employees increases because due to scorecard, it's completely performance based. Your appraisals, everything is performance based. So turnover basically is good. Then training outcomes are positive because, again, how training is provided. Okay, I guess we are left with less time, so I'll end it here. This slide, I'll take it in the next class. Okay, are there any doubts? If there are any
So when